to welcome to our coaching chat Zoom. We are in well, right now it's a two-part series, but I think we'll go on into a third part. When it comes to the title of this is growing your new partner to a successful position. So last week, we walked through the process of getting someone from partner to partner plus, and we walked through our brand new onboarding portion that is on the Freedom Revolution. And we talked about the 4 C's of getting that person from partner to partner plus. We talked about one, just walking through that commitment with them. The stronger their commitment in the beginning, what I've seen down through the years, people like just kind of dangle a little bit of their toes in the water. But when I see people just dive all in head first, those are the ones who usually take off running. So getting that commitment from that person and just saying it's worth 100% of the commitment. We talked about teaching them how to connect with others and what that looked like and where to go get those prospects. The third C that we talked about was conversation and really helping those new people get good verbiage down so that they have good conversations with people. And that's just, some people come to the table with that skill already built in, and some people you need to really work with, those new partners. But the great thing is everything we do is a skill that can be learned. So anybody and everybody can learn how to be a successful partner in our Juice Plus company. And then the last thing we talked about is the consistency. I would rather have someone who just consistently shows up and invests in this business a little bit every day. That person in the long haul, one is going to learn the skills and learn them well because they consistently are doing them, as well as when we consistently reach out to people, we will see great results. So that was last week of really kind of getting that brand new partner off to a strong start. This week, and let me go up here and show you. So when you get in, we're going to look at the right side of the screen. When you go on to the Freedom Revolution, you go to the Getting Started tab. The password is welcome, and it pulls you into this, what we walked through last week. And this is taking a new partner, showing them all the ins and outs of getting to Partner Plus. So let's just assume everyone on the call, we've already walked our brand new partner through that first stage and they have reached Partner Plus. So tonight is where we pick up. You've got a brand new Partner Plus. And so this week, we're going to go through 4 C's as well. We may only get through 2 of them tonight. We'll go through 2 more of them next week because we're going to break this second half into 2 parts because there's a lot here. And we want to take our time and make sure that we really are grasping all the content. So if you look right at the top, I'm on the second page here, going to take my brand new Partner Plus through this portion of the onboarding. The first thing you see is congratulations. So we're going to kind of take a few minutes and look over to this left side, and we're going to talk about when you have a partner, the best thing you can do is acknowledge all the things that they're doing right. Because when someone compliments you, what does it do? It gives you confidence. And so we want those brand new partners to walk into this business with as much confidence as possible. And so I always start out by thinking of ways, how can I congratulate them? First and foremost, you want to go back to congratulating them for joining us in the business, and letting them know that they've made an incredible decision. And so just going back and reiterating, they've done a great job by joining, and it was the best decision they could possibly make. The second thing you want to do is just congratulating them for reaching P+. Now, P+, if you remember, it just takes 3 trios. So that new partners trio or a quad or even all the products to do a shred 10. But we want to make sure that they get at least 3 trios to get them to Partner Plus. There really is never a reason to bring someone on board and leave them at Partner. We want to make sure that everybody gets to Partner Plus. And so once someone does, and they've either picked up that $100 bonus or the $50 bonus, we want to congratulate them for that as well, and hitting that first level in our marketing plan. And then the third thing is really taking a look at those people who they've brought on. So they've already started to build a customer base, and we want to acknowledge them. You know, I was always taught in parenting classes, praise what you want. So you want to praise them for all the things they're doing right, and especially beginning to build that brand new partner, those customers, or maybe they even at this point have a partner of their own. All right, so now let's jump back over to the right side of the page. So we've already congratulated this brand new partner. The next thing we want to do, and here's where we're gonna camp out for a while. First, you're gonna want to walk them through, watch this video together, and it's going to go over how they go from Partner Plus to QSC. And then you're going to turn around and reiterate what's just been said on the video. We can't go through this enough times because we want this brand new person to really understand the process. So I think it was Stacy last week on the call, talked about how valuable these worksheets are. You guys print these worksheets out at every level and get really good. Like, take yourself through them so that you really have a good grasp of what these worksheets, what they're talking about. So we're going to take this new person to QSC. So we need right there, number one, 3,600 promotional points. So we always kind of use, when we're talking about examples, we talk about the trio. Of course, everyone on here probably knows about the quad, what it takes if you're going to go through the shred, the products that are available. But first, we want to just kind of do all illustrations from a from a trio standpoint. So if my goal is 3,600 points. At this point, I'm going to go back and I'm going to teach this new person, help them kind of understand the points for each of the different products. So I would come back here, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go to the page where it's going to have all the points. Can everybody see that? Someone give me a thumbs up. Okay. So I would take this brand new partner, and I'd say, okay, 3,600 points is our goal. At this point, hopefully they've already gotten 3 trios, which would be how many points? Someone tell me, how many points would 3 trios equate to? Dale?
900.
900. Thank you. So we know that our new partner already has 900 points because they've made it to Partner Plus. So I would come back here and say, okay, 3,600 points divided by 300 means you'd need approximately 12 trios. You've already gotten 3, so that means we need 9 more trios. And how we came up with that is, if you look here, the trio, the price is 300. The points and the price are the same. Now, you're going to hear a couple terms thrown out. One is going to be promotional volume. So in the first 2 months in this business, our new partners will, whether or not their customers pay in full or pay on installment, they get what's called the promotional point value. So that would be the full amount. So whether or not your trio is purchased and someone pays for the entire trio, or they only pay on installment, which would be $75 a month for 4 months, those first 2 months, you get all of the points regardless of how someone pays. After those first 2 months, however someone pays, that's how many points you get. So if someone spends $300 and they pay it all up front, you would get 300 points. If they paid on installment, 75 times 4, that's where the 300 points come from. You would get 75 points per month if they paid on installment. So I walk them through that so that they understand where all these points are coming from. And so I help them understand too is, okay, let's just say you have a trio plus the Omega, so they're getting a quad. So they would get 420 points, which would be 300 plus the 120. So I would just kind of take some time with them and walk them through so they kind of understand the difference between pay in full and on installment and how many points they are getting in those first 2 months. Then I would go back to this schedule here. The rest of these are talking about, we just want to make sure nobody tries to buy their way to this next level. So if you look here, they can't personally have more than 1,300 points. And they personally have to have at least 600 points from their customers. Now, what does that mean? Why would you separate out their customers? Well, if we scroll down here, there are several different ways that someone can get to the QSC level. And right here is one really easy way. If you find 3 people who say, all right, Sandy Roberts Thompson, I want to be on your team. I want to do what you're doing. And let's say in the first 2 months, Sandy gets 3 people who want to do what she's doing. And she's just new. She doesn't know all the ins and outs, but she knows how she got to Partner Plus. So she would then walk those 3 new partners that she has brought on and teach them how to get to Partner Plus just like she did. Well, if you do 900 times 4, then you're back up to that 3,600 points. And that's how how someone could quickly get to QSC by having 3 people join them and do the Partner Plus as well. Another way, example 2, we talked about 3,600 points divided by trios are 12 trios. You've already got a trio, plus you got 2 customers, your Partner Plus person did. So now we need 9 more trios. So what I would do then is just literally take some time with this brand new partner, come back up here and say, all right, Sandy, I'm looking at you. I can see you on my screen. So you're going to be my guinea pig for tonight. I would say, Sandy, let's talk about, last week we talked about those move the partner or move the body kind of people. That's the kind of people, if you're in an alley and you find a dead person at your feet, who are you going to call to help you move the body? So last week we reached out to those people. You want to say, okay, who else is there that you know that you could reach out to? And once you share Juice Plus with them, you know, they just flat out love you and they're like, oh, let's do it. Let's go for it. So help them think through those warm market people that will be pretty easy to bring on as customers. And literally what I would do is literally have them print this off if they're with you and literally start filling this in. If they're not, saying, who's the first person you're going to put on that list? And then let's talk about, tell me a little bit about this person. What do you think would attract them to Juice Plus? And then I would go on to say, okay, so do you know what kind of verbiage? What verbiage would you share with them? What video would you share with them? And so what you want to do is walk at least 10 names that you've kind of processed with that brand new partner. Sandy, do you feel confident about talking to this person? Tell me, do they have any health issues? What do you think would attract them? Do they have young children that you could share the children's health study with? And so what you're doing is really trying to set that brand new partner up with as much confidence as she goes into making those calls, meeting up with these people as much as possible. And so you kind of want to work through the verbiage as well as what that brand new partner is going to share with that person. So spend some time walking through this with them. One thing that we talked about last week, we're going to talk about again next week, that is make sure you have on the schedule either a virtual event with this person or a live event, so that, let's say you have a live event and 6 or 7 people come, most likely they're going to turn into customers. That's going to quickly help someone get to that QSC level, is if they have 1 or 2 events. So I probably would encourage you to do a live event and a virtual event with that brand new person. And if you do 2 events for that person in this next in that 60-day time frame, I have a feeling that person's going to hit this goal, because you're going to be exposing Juice Plus to a lot of people with 2 events. So let's get our brand new people off to a strong start. If we come down here, you can also talk to them about, if people order a quad and how powerful that is, because then it's only a total of 9 versus 12. But the other thing, before we leave this page, do you see this where it says level 1 partners? I would then say, okay, let's look at these people we just talked about that you're going to talk to this week. Which of them would you like to literally lock arms with and have them join you in the business? And then what we want to do is begin having a conversation with, okay, what do you say to those people that you want them to join you in this business? All right, so we're going to jump back here, and let me come over to, so we talked about, we're going to come back to the onboarding process, but I'm going to go to the next page here. And what you want to do is, when you're having this conversation with this new person, first think these 4 C's. First, you want to congratulate them through this process. But what we just went through with that worksheet is, the second C was, we got really curious. And we talked about, okay, how many points do you already have? And find out how far along they are, so then we know how many more they need to get to reach that next goal. We talk about who those next customers are going to be to help them get that up to that 3,600 points and hit that QSC level. And then the third thing is, get real curious about who would you like to join you in this business? Who could you see yourself locking arms with? Everybody needs a buddy in this business, at least one that you can go running with in this business. You will be so grateful. One, when you're up, maybe when they're down, you're up, and when you're down, they're up. You need a buddy in this business. So that's how I would approach these people that you want to talk to. I'm looking for a buddy. I'm looking for someone to lock arms with me and run with me in this business. Would you take a look at it? One of the things that I think make it easier when it comes to onboarding somebody and bringing on someone is right here. What we talk about is a 3-way connection. Get your upline, and we're going to click on here. Here's some homework, you guys. I want you guys to come over here during this week, watch this, The Power of the 3-Way Connections, and read all about 3-way connections. This is inviting your upline and this potential partner to come together on a Zoom or meet in person or do a conference call and help them hear from someone who's further along in the business, who can really cast vision for them. We're going to go into this a little bit more next week, but I'm going to challenge you guys for that to be your homework. But for tonight, we're going to kind of jump back to, these are the key business videos. I'm going to challenge each one of you to, how many of you guys, let me see your hands. How many of you guys have listened to all these videos? So I see Dale, Sandy, Brenda. Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Let's see who else. How many? Has everybody watched those videos? Okay, that's another piece of homework I'll have to send out. I'm really getting bossy with the homework tonight. I'm going to send out several of these things and links to what I'm going to challenge you guys to really jump in and let's dig in and really learn how to onboard these people successfully. All right, let's jump back to the onboarding process. Okay, the next thing, what I would do last week, we talked about them creating a memory jogger list. So I would encourage you to make sure they've actually done that. You want them to have at least 50 names on that memory jogger list. Now, here's the deal. If we're going to be asking people to do these things, we have to make sure that we ourselves have done them. We are leading by example. So, when's the last time you worked on your memory jogger list and expanded it? And how do you go about expanding your memory jogger list? Well, you can go to your Facebook and just start going down through your Facebook list. You can think of seasons of your life. Who did I know when I was in college? Who did I know when I was in high school? Who in elementary school? Who does my parents know? What sports teams do I play on? What activities am I a part of? Just start thinking in chunks and groups of people and begin expanding that list and challenging that new person to expand their list. I once heard it said that if you have at least 250 friends on Facebook, then at a minimum of 600 people. So if your memory jogger isn't up to 600 names yet, you have some work to do. You've got some more homework to do. So let's expand our own list and challenge our new partners to do the same. The next thing on this list is identify your dream team. We were talking a little bit about that earlier when we were looking at that form that showed what you have to do to get to QSC. And so here's another thing. We're going to walk through it even in more detail next week. But I want you to spend some time on this section and make sure, what is that? 5. Make sure you've got 5 solid people that you've printed this form yourself. And that way, when you walk through these new partners through this section, you can pull yours out and say, here are the 5 people I'm really focused on, inviting them to join my business, to join my team. And so what we're doing, we're showing our new partners, we're showing them by example that we are walking through this and we are doing these things as well. So this week, homework, walking through, print off this how to get to QSC form so that you know it like the back of your hand. The next thing, watch these key videos, expand your list, and identify your dream team. Let's all of us do that so that I'm telling you, when we personally walk through those ourselves, we're going to easily be able to communicate that to our new partner when we have a new partner. It will become old hat because we personally have done that as well. All right, we're going to stop there. And Brenda, you can go ahead and stop the recording. And we're going to jump in and